First, Colin Barnett has made major changes to his cabinet, announcing 3 new ministers and reinstating Troy Buswell as Treasurer. And Premier also wielded the axe, dumping beleaguered Police Minister Rob Johnson. More from State political reporter Michael Bennett.
Pushed before he could fall on his sword, Rob Johnson dumped from Cabinet.
Look, Rob is not pleased.
Triggered by Christian Porter's shock resignation, the Premier used today's reshuffle to bow to public and party pressure to get rid of him. The Police Minister, known as Inspector Clouseau, had a history of bungles. Stripped of emergency services after the Rolling Stone fire, then publicly savaged by fellow WA Liberal Don Randall over his performance. On the flip side, Troy Buswell's back as Treasurer, a sign he's fully atoned for his chair-sniffing, bra-snapping extracurricular sins. But he's still under watch.
I don't think Troy's going to make any more mistakes. I ride him harder than Black Caviar was ridden.
When you go east and you meet people over there, the one person in West Australia they know about is Troy Buswell, and it's not because of good things.
I tried to speak to both Troy Buswell and Rob Johnson about their respective rise and falls. Mr Buswell was on holiday for 2 weeks, while Rob Johnson flew to Melbourne this morning for what will be his last conference as WA Police Minister. Liz Constable, also a loser in the shake-up, the Premier unwilling to let her hold on to education until she retires at the next election. Peter Collier will add education to his equally tough energy portfolio. The reshuffle makes room for 3 new faces. Scarborough MP Lisa Harvey taking on police, former State Prosecutor Michael Mission as Attorney General, and Murray Cowper now responsible for training in prisons. 45-year-old Miss Harvey ready to start with a clean slate. Volunteering, she lost her licence for points 16 years ago and has once smoked dope. Clearly nervous on day one.
What do you know about the police service?
Well, bits and pieces, I suppose, that I've gathered over time.
But she's vowed to tackle it head on.
As far as experience goes, I guess, you bite off more than you can chew, and then you chew like hell.
Some new blood, some new faces, and I look forward to working with those new ministers.
The new ministers will be sworn in tomorrow.
And State political reporter Michael Bennett joins us live now. Michael, the Premier's made a strong statement ahead of the next election.
Good evening, Craig. He really has. Rob Johnson's been a thorn in his side for quite some time now. Many have long said that it was only a matter of time before he'd be dumped, but not everyone expected that it would happen today. And it really formed part of a much wider reshuffle than most had anticipated. These 3 new faces that will join Cabinet will be presented to the WA public as a new-look Barnett government ahead of next year's state election. The Premier admitting today that the Liberals have a massive fight on their hands ahead of the March poll. Colin Barnett said that there had been issues within his cabinet that the public just didn't accept and that they needed to be resolved. But clearly these issues didn't extend to Troy Buswell, whose reappointment back to Treasury has placed him firmly as Colin Barnett's successor. Now, this will obviously form a major part of the Labor campaign. They've already trotted out the line that a vote for Barnett is a vote for Buswell. So once again, Colin Barnett, a major shake-up indicating that he has shifted up a gear in his fight to retain government. From Parliament House, it's back to you.
Thanks, Michael. Michael Bennett there at Parliament House.